Giants have emerged from their strongholds to threaten civilization as never before. Hill giants are stealing all the grain and livestock that they can, while stone giants have been scouring settlements that have been around forever. Fire giants are press-ganging small folk into the desert, while frost giants' long ships have been pillaging along the Sword Coast. Even the elusive cloud giants have been witnessed, their wondrous floating cities appearing above Water's Deep and Baldur's Gate. Where is the storm giant King Hecaton, who is tasked with keeping order among these giants? What the lands of Faerun, the elves and the dwarves, the humans and the halflings, and the gnomes and the dragonborn need right now is a group of heroes to raise and take on this threat and ensure continued peace in the lands. And maybe one day they'll get round to it.
Talk on the streets and taverns of Baldur's Gate has turned to a death curse, a mysterious ailment afflicting anyone who has passed through the doors of death and returned. A wasting disease that seems them sliding back towards the death they once denied. And the doors of death seem to have sealed tightly shut, meaning that nobody can return from beyond them. Temples and scholars are at a loss to explain this mysterious death curse. A dark power grows in the jungles of Chult, a mysterious peninsula far to the south, ringed by mountains and choked by rainforests. The death curse and this dark power seem to be intertwined, and those suffering from the curse seek to bring an end to it. Heroes have been chosen for this task, but they have not returned, and time runs short for those seeking to avoid a second painful death. And so now it seems that it is time for new heroes to rise. Will they succeed where others have failed, or will they be doomed to wander lost in the jungles of Chult forever? Hello and welcome to this final boss fight live stream of Dungeons and or possibly even Dragons. My name is John and I am joined by Sean.
That's a
Yes. Sean.
Hi.
And Sammy.
Howdy-ho.
Because apparently I've decided to keep all the S's in this group.
And ignore my my pseudonym completely once again.
Yeah.
Scar. That's an S as well.
Yes, you could have actually done that, but no.
And I'm Shan, so
And I'm Commander Crumpet.
yeah, you're just wrecking the place.
You just made a mistake. You're just making it wrong there, Sean.
Fine, I'll change it to Sergeant Snake.
Yeah, can that be a thing, please? I need that in my life.
That's kind of like the original thing. Is I thought, well, yeah, if I just pick like a food stuff, a militaristic food stuff, then there could be all kinds of other militaristic food stuff.
Well, because we had you were Commander Crumpet.
Yes.
Because alliterative.
Yes.
And Dan apparently didn't listen to the alliterative part of that plan and went with Major Beef.
Yes.
It's just...
Hashtag logic.
Because that's him. So...
Yes. And what was... Did other Dan ever pick one?
No.
No.
So he listened even less.
Yes.
He just kept saying he was, and then just go, oh yeah, I can't think. Fuck you then.
Well.
You're not part of my army now.
Anyway, we are here to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Are we?
That's why I've gathered you here today, yes.
You sure?
I'll take your word for it.
Good. I'm glad.
I found super glue.
Yay! Lots of things are happening.
Torin had a bit of an accident.
Ah.
As in little model Torin.
I was going to say, Taurin of... Where is it? There it is.
Yeah.
Taurin of Tomb of Annihilation fame. Or Taurin, the First Lord of Hillsfar.
No, Torin of Tomb of Annihilation. Yeah, his little models had a bit of an accident. So
Again.
Is it the same accident, I assume?
Well,
Or has
no,
he...
it's like, to travel from MCM to back home, the top of his hammer fell off, like the hammer head
Right.
fell off, or snapped off, whatever. And then today, it evidently proves how utterly fucking fragile these things are, because I knocked it off of I've got like a bookshelf above my desk, and it probably fell, like about less than a foot onto some paper, and the shield arm snapped off.
Huh.
Wow.
So it's like, okay, you hit something very soft, and broke.
Can I just say, I'm very glad that Taurin's solidity in the game isn't as bad as your figurine is.
No, but
I may have to make some changes to the game stats to reflect.
I am good with the repairing, so I can get this done.
Because at this point, I think we could just name Taurin Mr. Glass, because he is basically Mr. Glass now.
You already have Mr. Glass. His name's Riordan.
Anyway, that's a different D&D game we play. Tonight we are gathered to play the Golden Tooth, and last time when we met the Golden Tooth, they accepted a mission to go and take a shadowy shade coin into Cormanthor Forest and travel to an ancient elven ruin of the Eventide Abbey, where they would meet with and do battle with Elandil Alasadar's ancestor, who had sworn to protect Eventide Abbey unto and even beyond her own death, a oath that the god of the abbey took very seriously and has kept her bound there despite the fall of the empire which she swore to protect.
According to the contract.
You made your way into the outer ring of Cormanthor Forest and did battle with some bullets. And then pressed through that 10 miles of tree line into the mid-ring of Cormanthor, or the Midwood, where you found your way to Brightleaf's abode. Brightleaf being a tree ant who is, according to the outsiders of the forest, a protector of the forest. You entered into a discourse with him and found some discordant notes amongst what he was saying, and noted that there were some vine blights crawling around his head, whispering to him, and apparently he has been driven insane by either their presence or something else.
Yep.
You, utilizing Malzere's abilities to distract and focus the attention of creatures, 2 of the Vine Blights and Brightleaf himself have been drawn into strictly listening to Malzere as he stands at the front of the group, speaking to these creatures. You opened fire on the Vine Blights and managed to kill one, wound 2 others. One of them is glowing brightly to signify that you have advantage in attacking that one the next time somebody hits it. And we now drop straight into combat.
Woo!
Question before we do anything of this sort.
Yes.
Am I aware they're there? Because last time I failed so tremendously, I wasn't aware that they were there.
You have now been made aware of their presence by the actions of your comrades.
Okay.
You shot at them. If you missed that, you might need to go see someone.
Between 2 of them firing their bow and arrow into the tree, and one of them firing a bright silvery bolt of radiant energy into the tree, and the one that fell out of the tree that went on the ground, you have now noticed the combatants.
Yay! Someone's gonna save us.
And they say that a hero will save us.
Oh, well, that's a great start for me.
That's not much better.
Where are we? I'm here. There's me. Initiative.
And I opened the character sheet of Counteract for some reason.
You enjoy that.
It's interesting that you can do that.
Technically, we can open each other's character sheets, we just can't interact with them.
Yeah, I can't interact with it, I'm just gonna open
cool.
it.
I will also roll for Malzere as Amy is on her way home.
Yay! I knew I could do worse than anyone else.
Squeak.
I also need to do Squeak, because that's just my character now.
Well, enjoy the fight. I'm just gonna get some reading things and read a bit.
It looks like some of my characters will be right there with you.
I think all of them, no? No, just
Yay!
2, the 3 of them.
Oh,
I've literally got one. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then 22.
Yeah. No, we got 2 8 as well.
Yeah.
Which is the Malzere couple.
Sorry, which surname is being taken, or is that Are you hyphening?
No, I just said Malzere couple.
No, I mean, I'm talking to Sean. Has that been discussed yet?
Well, we don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Neferin,
Hi.
you're up first.
That'd be me.
That be you. So this one with the bright yellow one has advantage if you shoot him.
Advantage. Okay, so.
Or any
I have
attack
attack?
made against him.
I had a shot, didn't I? That I could take.
You have sharpshooter shot, which has a -5 to the attack roll, but a +10 to the damage if it hits.
Shall I give that a go? Because I've got advantage.
I believe you have advantage against both the red ones as well, because they aren't able to notice you right now.
I don't want to do bursting arrow, because I don't want to hurt the tree just yet.
Okay.
Just yet.
So yeah, I'm gonna. I'll advantage this front one,
Okay.
and I'm going to attempt my sharpshooter shot.
That is a hit.
Sweet.
That is 19 points of damage. He looks very hurt. He isn't dead yet.
And I am going to hit him again just with a normal longbow shot. Attempt to.
Okay.
She says. Oh, okay.
That attempt hits. He is just clinging on with an arrow like sticking through where his eye would be and another one sticking into his chest. He is just like breathing heavily, leaking a lot. Squeak's turn. Squeak is going to take advantage of the advantage on the glowing one and fire her short sword? No, short bow.
Fire her short sword. What can go wrong?
No, not expect this.
That is a hit, and because it has advantage, it is a sneak attack. So that is dead.
Sweet.
A second vine blight just drops out of the tree. And now it is Vine Blight McVineblight's turn, and he's going to try and make a notice everything else that's happening roll.
Fail.
That is not the right button to press.
Fail.
Initiative.
That's not disadvantage, that's initiative. Let's put you back where you should be. Okay. Notice everything else that is happening roll.
No, don't.
Fail.
He did not.
Yay!
He rolled a 1.
He rolled poorly.
See, if you ask nicely.
Ask and you shall receive. This one, who is also rolled a 1. Jesus.
Yay!
Yes. Oh, 1 and a 2.
Yeah, he's these two are just focusing on Malzere and the pointlessly long conversation Malzere is having with them about lace. You think you aren't really paying attention to what Malzere is saying.
At this point, I'm just expecting Barum to do a 3.
Galdorex.
1, 2, 3.
What have we got here? What do I have? I can throw at them. I think so. So those two are the ones that are currently completely like
completely
in
entranced in this conversation, yes.
And these two haven't been hit?
This one has been hit. This one has yet to be touched.
So I'm going to attempt to guiding bolt that one.
Okay.
Unless there's something else I can do. No, let's guiding bolt him. Probably not.
That will hit.
That'll hit. Woo! So.
Turns out plants aren't that great at AC.
If only I had blight. If only I had blight. Hold on.
I know someone who has blight, but he's not here.
At that level.
I guess who just jumped out of the bush? There it is.
But still, it's going to be interesting.
So that's 17 points of damage. And he's all glowy now.
He is all glowy now, so.
Glowy.
Which one is glowy? This one?
Hey, Tanny.
The one with the yellow splodge.
Okay, he is now glowy.
We shall now know him as Splodge.
So it's Malzere's turn, and Malzere just keeps talking.
Just keep talking.
You pick up random words in just
Somehow we've turned into socks.
a consistent diatribe of discussion. She's on her way, Tanny. She's just running a little bit late from having driven somebody completely mad and had to kill them in front of their own wife. Oh, or another game.
Casual Wednesday.
Now my Vine Blights who rolled real well. They are going to drop out of the tree and entangling plants. So how far can they move? 10 feet. 5, 10. Turns out plants aren't that quick.
No, they are approaching us.
Oh god, no.
So this...
God, no! Dear God, no!
This one drops out of the tree and sends his hands out. Its hands out. It's a plant. And the roots and vines start to wrap up around Nephirin and Malzere's legs.
Okay.
Could you both make a strength saving throw, please?
Strength in saving throws. Yeah, probably not.
Okay, so Malzere just tears his feet out of the ground and the vines snap. The vines grab up around your legs, Nephirin, and you are restrained.
She just shrugs, I aren't going to move anyway.
Also, the area... No, that's not a box. Give me a box.
No, no boxes for you.
The area here, in this yellow box,
Holy fuck!
is now difficult terrain. It is basically the plants and vines are just growing and seem to be moving under the control of this vine blight.
Well, one little vine could do so much shit.
Okay, it is Brightleaf's turn, and Brightleaf needs to make a check to see if he notices that other things are happening outside of the conversation about
Socks.
socks.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing.
No, he doesn't notice that anything out of the ordinary has occurred yet.
Yeah, but it's just because nothing's happening.
It's
I told you that.
5, 10 is how good is my range on this one? Yeah, he's not going to do that. He's going to wait, which is probably not great, but he's not going to get anybody else in his attack, so Barham.
Ah, me! So this guy is approaching me?
Yeah,
Roughly.
just generally your area.
I assume I saw Nephrine being entangled.
Yes.
I think it'd be hard to miss with that kind of range.
So, first thing I do, I'll move here. And I will throw a javelin at glowy Basil over there.
Okay.
I shall rage as well. Ah, rage. Javelin time, advantage. Advantage?
Yep.
And poop. 18.
That is a hit.
That's 10 points.
You just throw the javelin and it pins him back into the tree behind him. Just dong.
Then I'm gonna move. Sorry, Calderax. Can I try and cut the vine to free Nephrine?
It would take an action to do, I'm afraid.
I have another action.
You have another attack, not another action.
Can't I attack the vines?
No.
Okay, can I attack this one then?
Yes?
I have another javelin. I'm not at advantage, but that's 25
That's
anyway.
still a 25. That will hit.
That's another 10.
That's another 10.
I like 10s today.
10's a good number to roll. For damage, at least.
Yeah.
Not for everything, but for damage.
And then I'm gonna hug the wind, because there's nothing to hug here.
You're gonna hug yourself like, oh.
I mean, you can, like, gently hug Calderax or Nephrine. Like, avoid the spiky bits.
I prefer just him hugging himself and just like
And
sad song.
he wouldn't hug Calderax, and he knows that if he hugs Nephrine, he'll probably crush her. So I think Barham will just tap Nephrine on the shoulder and be like, "It's okay, I'm here."
Nephrine.
It was this one, wasn't it? This
Yes.
The one who has one of my javelins in him.
Screw it, he could have a bursting arrow.
No, my javelin!
Because that's 10-foot radius?
Yep. But
Right.
my
So Mal isn't in it. Good. Well done.
This motherfucker
Well
is-
done, Mal.
Oh,
Right,
this mother-
bursting arrow. Let's have a crack at this.
Yeah. Go get
Yeah.
it.
That is a miss.
I can do that once per
Yes.
attack, so I just have to longbow him now.
That is a hit.
Eh.
And that is precisely what you needed to kill him.
Woo!
Yeah, my javelin's still there. Woo!
The vines are also still here.
Bastard.
Squeak!
Squeak's turn, and Squeak is gonna find the character sheet.
I'm
Just
just
in the
imagining
grass.
Squeak doing that in game.
Oh, here it is.
Hold on. I need to find my person.
Random sheet here that tells me all about myself.
Squeak is gonna fire at this one.
This one?
Why?
Why?
Thankfully, is at advantage because it's currently not paying attention. And well, that's more than 2. Let's see if the Vine Blight can notice that anything has happened to all of his friends.
Come on, fail.
He rolled better than a 1.
He did,
Calderax.
but did it help him?
It did not, no.
I love it. I love the fact that everyone's falling around him and it's like, yeah, it sort of sucks.
Yeah, socks.
I am going
There are
to
lacy socks? What do you mean, lacy socks?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then diagonal 30. And then I am going to try to inflict wounds upon this motherfucker. Is it with advantage?
Yes, he is not paying attention to you
Heavily distracted.
or attempting to currently defend himself. He's not noticed anything.
Whoops.
Other than his inability to wear socks.
Other than a startling lack of socks in his life,
Well then.
which I fear might be about to go short.
Well.
Someone conjure the poor dude some socks.
I'm not even going to
Bye.
bother doing the adding. That is more than the 26 points of life he had.
It is. Just the first bit of damage was more.
Malzere
I wanted him super dead.
Malzere subtly shifts the conversation now from socks to other applications of lace within the clothing department, such as nice trim along the right kind of dress, or like around the
Corsets.
hem, or corsets. The Brightleaf, the tree ant, doesn't have much to add to the conversation, but really it's mostly a monologue from Malzere anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. And now the tree ant is going to see if he can notice. Nope.
How
Barham.
long is the spell lasting?
Which spell?
The
What Mal's up to.
hear me out.
That lasts for
10 years.
Ever.
1 minute.
Okay. So I'm going to use my action to free Nephrin.
Make me a strength check.
Can I help?
Advantage.
You are at advantage because you're raging.
Yeah.
You just kind of pick Nephrin up off of her feet and
I like
tear.
to think that Barham just looks at her like, why couldn't you do that yourself?
I'm smaller than you.
Tanny is apparently the cat is being actually a cat and walking all over their keyboard.
Aw.
Send help.
No one can help you with such things.
Nope, that's what cats do, so...
So yeah, basically every single vine and root that was holding Nephrin in place is uprooted, as is Nephrin herself, as you briefly hold her above your head. And then you
So-
put her down again.
And I had the time of my life.
Would you like to move or do anything with a bonus action?
I'm just gonna ask Nephrin, so do we kill the ant or not?
I am unsure at present.
I'm gonna
had
move...
him.
I'm gonna move forward just in case we
Can
need
you
to
get
kill the
closer
ant.
to Mal to help Mal out? Oh no, Mal did break free.
Mal's
didn't
not
he?
out. Mal's not in.
Yes, Mal never got in.
I'm just going to stand in the middle of Calvarax and Malzirek and look at the end with my
I
javelin.
feel like we should drop the spell and talk to him.
I just imagine, where are my friends? Where are my friends? Ah!
Apparently, Fluff says...
Well then,
Yes,
I think everyone can agree with that.
and it did. That was a very interesting argument.
That is Fluff saying hello. Or at the very least trying. Neff.
Neff will hold this action until there is some kind of attack made by this tree.
Okay.
Essentially, she wants to see whether there's any chance of talking to it and whether getting rid of the beings around it has helped.
Okay. Squeak will follow your lead because, as we all know by this point, technically Nephrin is leader.
I want
Indeed.
to say there's some hope for him, but
Calderax.
Calderax is also going. I am going to hold a guiding bolt.
Okay.
He better not do anything, because otherwise it's like 5 attacks. I mean, granted.
I'm gonna hold a guiding bolt. If he snaps out of this and is all fucking angry and tries to attack anyone, then I'm letting it go.
And are you guys telling Malzere to stop the spell now?
And yes, so relinquish the hold.
I just imagine no one tells Malzere and just waiting there indefinitely.
Stood there in this permanent battle of how long can they talk about various types of lace for?
Fluff has now made Tanny's screen go upside down somehow.
Oh, yeah, there's a shortcut for that. What was that?
There's a shortcut for that, but now Tanny has to find it.
We used to do it to our maths teacher because he could never figure out how to put it back, so he used to just turn the projector upside down on the desk.
I just changed my my colleague's desktop background to some passive aggressive thing. And
It's
most
like
of them-
Control Alt something.
Control Alt and up arrow.
I won't try it now because I
probably break the stream.
Should put it back to normal landscape.
I would love it if John did it and then his little picture in the corner just suddenly turned upside down.
Yeah.
uh,
Control Alt.
it worked.
Yay!
So Malzere drops the spell, and you just see a flicker of recognition that things have occurred while he wasn't paying attention flash over Brightleaf's face, and he turns to see the fallen bodies of the Vine Blights, and he roars in anger. Kill the fleshlings.
I think that's all cute.
Yep.
And he goes to start moving, but you guys all have held actions.
No,
So-
not me, but...
Well, Calderax.
No, but you're then like... It would be me first, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be Nefrin first, yeah, 'cause she was one.
Well, that's up to you guys, but
That's Nefrin's...
I would say it goes in initiative, so Nefrin's weak.
never.
Okay, let us... Bursting arrow.
That is a hit. That is 18 points of damage as that's a 10, John. As the arrow flings and just explodes, and it blows.
I was going for like dead center.
It blows chunks of bark outwards.
And then I am going to whack another longbow in there.
That will also hit. So that is 7 more points of damage. Squeak will squeak will squeak.
Squeak will squeak.
Well, the 18 hits. It is
Squeak at this point told all the birds to get out of the tree.
It is not sneak attack, so that is 8 points of damage. Calderax.
Loose with that one. Okay, that wasn't supposed to be a 10.
10 misses, I'm afraid.
Damn it. Why do I always either miss or kill the thing that I like?
Where is my character sheet for Brightleaf? There he is.
You've been doing better lately.
Yeah, you did hit 2 people without killing them.
I did.
Brightleaf reaches into the ground, picks up a rock, and flings it at... Who does that hit? One target. We'll say Malzere.
No, not Mal.
I don't want to hear about your damn lace.
And Malzere attempts to dive to one side, but just gets blindsided by the rock. And takes 24 points of damage.
Holy shit balls!
Wow.
Barham.
Seeing that, I'm like, motherfucker! And run at him. Still raging, of course. I'm gonna...
Technically, your rage would have dropped, but you can do a bonus action to re-rage.
Let's re-rage! I'm out of rages, but let's re-rage. And I'm not at
Don't worry about
advantage.
it. Getting out of fucking spells.
Take that down. Talon, 14.
That will miss.
Talon, you are being 15.
That will miss.
For fuck's sake.
You just glance across the heavy barked armour of...
Nah. Well, that was my turn.
You just strike into the heavy barked armour of Brightleaf the tree ant.
I need an axe.
Neferin.
Hi.
Hello.
We are going to... I want to aim back here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to do another bursting arrow, hopefully. No, I'm not.
That will miss.
And so will that.
And so will that. Squeak.
I knew it was too easy.
Will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And will fire a short bow, not at advantage anymore.
That's sneak attack.
But sneak attack. And will do 20 points of damage.
Sweet. How's he looking at this point, by the way?
Quite healthy still.
Okay.
It's an int. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was just intrigued.
Calderax, Grey Castle.
I'm probably gonna die.
This terrain is still difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
Is there a time that it stops being difficult, or is it just grown now?
It will fade in a minute from when it was cast, so it's got a good couple of turns left.
Okay.
He is charging up.
Kame! I don't know whether I should try to, because if he's being like, if he's been like possessed or something like that, then I have things that could possibly get rid of that, maybe. But at the same time, I don't know whether he's just beyond help and we have to kill him.
It's up to you.
Give it a go.
He did fling a rocket mouse array.
I realise this, but at the same time, I don't want to kill this guardian of the forest if there's a chance of saving him. So,
Fortunately, me being a dwarf of the mountain, I don't care about guardians of the forest.
I have a removal curse in this.
Yeah, you can try that, maybe. Is that a ritual then?
I think that breaks attunement to a cursed object more than a possession or anything like that. I think but I could try it anyway.
You can try.
That means no in gem language, but yeah, go on.
So, first things first. Hold on. As a bonus action. How close do I have to be for this? I can be 6 feet. As a bonus action, making sure I got the right one. As a bonus action, I'm going to Shield of Faith Malzare.
Okay, so that's a +2 to AC.
+2 to his AC while I do my dance. And then I'm going to... Do I have to be close to remove curse? I do have to touch it. So 5'10".
Yep.
Hi. And remove. So just that's funny. Not even a roll for that. It's literally.
There is a deep frown covers his face. My forest suffers, and I have been unsound. There are wrongs to be righted. And he looks down at you, Calderax. for showing me my failure. I have much work to do.
I do good?
Apparently so. Well done.
Thank you. I don't have much to offer. But take this. And he turns and he walks to this tree next to him, and he pulls out of the branches and he hands you a wooden flask containing a potion of animal friendship and a delicately etched leaf that he explains will allow you to cast the spell Protection from Plants.
Protection from plants, specifically.
Would have been useful a minute ago.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I must go.
My planet needs me.
There is much that needs to be done. Hey, Amy.
Hi! Sorry, I'm back.
Hey, Malzray's on 9 hit points.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
You took a rock in the face.
A rock to the face.
Right in the
How?
face.
The ant was unimpressed by your talking of socks.
And lace. You talked a lot about lace.
Oh, well, lace is good.
No, really, you dropped the spell, and the ant was a bit more angry than we anticipated, so he dropped a rock on you.
Love it.
So enjoy that headache.
So everybody also can get 200 points of experience as Brightleaf wanders away into the forest.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Brightleaf.
I'm also gonna get back my javelins.
And you can
200 points of experience.
you can gather up javelins and half of the arrows shot.
How many arrows did I fire?
4.
3, 4, 5,
6.
6.
So you can get back 3.
Hey!
Hey!
I can math.
So I've got a potion of animal friendship. Who wants it? Or speak with animals, whatever the hell. No. Yeah.
Animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
Turns to Nephryn.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That's kind of your thing, no?
And I also have a snazzy leaf that gives you protection from plants.
Turns to whoever wants it.
Gives to Malzray.
Says Malzero as he's spitting his tooth.
Damn plants.
Shuffle over. And I'm going to give him some curing.
I don't want to be mean, but Malzero needs protection from rocks, not plants. But
I'm going to do the number 2 cure.
What if the rocks have plants growing on them?
So that is 21 points of
I
healing.
hope it's the plant side that hits you.
That's minus 21, John.
you don't get the plant damage from the rock.
Malzray is back up to 30.
Well, I'm just gonna say that because I've just come in and the rocks hit him, that's given him amnesia, and now he's like, ugh, what? What?
You had a little adventure, Pat, while curing wounds.
Can someone cure my wounds? I'm at half health.
Where do you go?
And then I also cure the barum. That's the one.
No, the barroom.
The barum.
Heal
I thought
the
you were going to
barroom.
say the barbarian, the bard, the barroom.
I have one more second level, so I'm gonna have to do it. That one was less impressive, but Baron gets that much health. 16.
That's me almost at max, so let's go.
Cool.
Sweet. Yes, so, nasty things chilling in trees. Had to kill those. Thought that might have
Where are we?
cranky tree from being cranky, but it didn't.
Oh, the tree! Yeah, the tree. Oh, you're a bitch.
So are you going to just press on into the woods now, or are you going to take a rest?
Well, I know I need a rest.
I feel like here would be a good place to rest because Tree Friend might stay fairly close for a while because, you know, he's relatively slow.
Honestly, I have no rages left. That hasn't happened once in the game. Let's have a rest.
I have one first level spell slot left.
Oof.
Squeak shrugs.
I've got a vine wrapped around my shoe and I don't like it. Let's rest.
The vines just kind of decay away.
Just flick it off like toilet paper.
Resty poo flops.
Neff will be happy to rest but keeps perceptions up.
We don't have a short rest. Is it for the rage or is it rage?
I believe only a long rest.
Okay, I'm gonna stay at rage 0 then, unless we do a long rest. We do a long rest.
I think, like I said, I have no spells. I'm currently.
Yeah, I'm happy with
rest.
that.
Okay, then long rest. I'm gonna leave them to their privacy. That love it.
Neff has rations, so they'll she'll set up like a small fire and
Squeak
just
will
chill.
help.
Oh, what's wrong, Cal? Do you want a massage or something?
If you don't mind.
I'm half tempted to play the drums.
I like to imagine that, like, Malsbury just goes over and kind of, like, gets at his shoulders, but, like, he's squeezing as though, like, not to actually massage, but to just be a bitch and pinch him, but he's actually hitting all the right places.
So, that's good. Oh, right, left a bit.
I'm just hearing Zach Brannigan lower. Lower.
Do people normally moan when they get massages, or is that just you?
Well, if they're very good, then yes.
Squeak.
You're doing it tonight, especially.
Squeak looks from Malzray and Calderax to Neferin, and then back again, and then back a third time, and then shrugs at Neff.
Neff will mutter under her breath, just bang already.
And with that, Squeak just like nods in nods in. Oh, okay.
Barroom will just grumble during this whole time, like, invent all of this and
So are you guys taking watches throughout the night?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who is taking first watch?
Neff can, because she's all good.
Yeah, Neff only needs 4 hours of sleep anyway, so...
Yep, so she'll go.
I'm looking at the perception here. I'm not sure I'm going to be very useful any day, so I'm going to partner up with someone who is going to be good at it.
What's my perception? My perception's 5.
How am I perceiving things? Yeah, I've got 5.
Does anyone of you two want a dwarf at his side? Or her side?
Shall I... Squeak's sorted, isn't she, at the moment?
Squeak's okay as well, so...
So if I sit with Squeak to begin with, it gives you guys a chance to get some semblance of rest.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Just in case shit happens.
case ship south promptly.
In case John.
Me?
Yep. Okay.
Anyway,
I'll go this way. That's the thing.
Friend.
Quite right, Squeak. Friend.
Okay, so
Neff has finished cooking steaks, by the way.
Yes! Nom, 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 nom.
She has a thing about good food.
That's something Barham appreciates of her.
so you guys eat heartily of the steaks, and Calderax, Malzere, and Barham head off to sleep.
Snoring dwarvish.
Your acting's on point tonight.
I know, right?
Neff, would you like to make me a perception check?
I'm just gonna get some water.
Squeak assisting me, or is Squeak...
Squeak will
Right.
assist you, so you have advantage.
Okie dokes. Let's give this a go. Perception.
Okay. So the night starts off fairly quiet, and then Barham starts snoring, and it gets fairly unquiet. And Squeak will look over at Barham, and then look back. Fucking hell! And then she just mimics the sound of the snoring.
She can't get that right. Only the original can.
Yeah, it's quite something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Barham's snoring would be the equivalent of a rhinoceros attack.
I can
Or a
feel the
stampede.
earth move. How weird.
I do have this image of, like in The Hobbit, the dwarf snoring and actually breathing in all the flies that are above him.
In Calderax's voice, Squeak says, "Wow, just wow."
Thank you.
Yeah. It's, can't say I've ever heard anything like it.
I know.
there is something.
And then just as the second hour of the watch kicks in, and you have not seen anything, and Squeak hasn't seen anything, she starts mimicking the sound of crickets.
Then a dinosaur turns up. No.
Then a giant cricket turns up. Turns out she's calling it.
I will be right back. I'm gonna switch to the computer.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you can hear me. Yeah.
Neff will be probably attempting to draw. Probably explains why she's not perceiving as quite as well as she should be.
Squeak will walk from one end of where everybody is and sit next to you and asks, "Would you like some company?"
Yeah, you're welcome to come and sit. Just drawing. She's got like a kind of notebook and a set of paints and things, but there's a lot of torn out pages where quite clearly she's not been happy with what she's created and she's decided to get rid of it instead.
She looks at one of the torn out pages and just... "Are you alright?"
Yeah, just some things don't come quite as naturally as I wish they would. But it's alright. I've got time to practice.
Yes.
Plenty of time.
And then when it comes to the end of your watch, she holds up one finger and says, I would like somewhere to sleep for one number of nights.
She flipped you the bird.
Fuck off, Malzere, she says in Caldrax's voice. And so she settles into her bedroll.
Awesome.
And who is taking second watch?
I could.
I was going to say I could, but I need to be weird.
Well, fine. We'll take awkward second watch together.
Oh, an awkward second watch, yay!
I'm happy with just sleeping, honestly, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Caldrax and Malzere, are you both making perception checks, or are you going to give one of you advantage?
Who's got the high perception?
I've got a 5 in perception.
I believe I do not have that. I have a 1.
I'll roll with advantage. Just watch me roll just abysmally now.
Better than I managed.
Only one more than your lowest, though.
Well, the couple of hours that you're on watch passes without noticing anything moving in the forest except for Brightleaf slowly moving around.
I wish to discuss something.
I thought you might.
He's just kind of leaning against the tree. In kind of deep thought, and then he just... I'm sorry.
Kind of looks at him, confused. 4?
For saying you were like your grandparents.
Oh. I mean, it's fine anyway.
I mean, I wouldn't really know what they were like since I've never met them, but I just assumed from what Mork said that they were a bunch of pricks.
Yeah. About right.
So, you don't like them either?
The Grey Castle family is a little... It's a hierarchy.
Yeah,
The
well, I know
eldest-
that.
The eldest rule everything, so you have to do everything they say. Live how they want you to live. See who they want you to see. Be friends with who they want you to be friends with. So no, I don't much. There was a time when I kind of had to like them,
Mm-hmm.
but since certain events, I couldn't care less about them.
Certain events?
A certain tiefling blackmailing me.
Alright. There's something I want to ask though.
Hmm?
Did you know the whole time that Morks have been working?
Did I know the whole time?
Yeah, or did you genuinely just find out with the quote-unquote investigation?
I overheard my grandparents talking to one of the servants in their house. It didn't take very long to find any evidence.
See, that's what's confusing me. Your quite clearly racist grandparents hired my brother to kidnap a kid, but he's a tiefling. Your grandparents are fucking hypocrites.
What better cover?
Ugh,
Who would suspect the quite openly hostile to other races nobles of kidnapping this person when any evidence points to a tiefling?
All I can say is that your grandparents make me relieved that I never knew my grandparents on either side.
Well, I like to think not everyone's grandparents are as horrible as mine, but...
Well, I wouldn't know. I never met either of mine.
Well, you never know, they might be arseholes like mine.
I don't know. I mean, from what my mum told me about hers, they were... Yeah, they want the best, and then my dad's just somewhere. He's got no idea.
Fair enough.
But yeah. If in the heat of the moment I ever say something like that again, you've got permission to slap me or something. I'll give you that for free.
Well, I'll hold you to that.
Don't say it like that.
What?
No, I meant like on the face or something.
No, you never specified the place until just now. You can't go back on the deal.
Oh, I hate you so much.
I look forward to you making a little slip up.
I think our watch is over now.
We haven't got several hours yet.
Barham
Mm-hmm.
and Neferin can take final watch because Neferin only needs 4 hours of sleep.
Yarp.
So I think Barham was saying that his perception sucks and would like to give advantage to somebody.
I'm the only one with a minus here in perception, so...
Yeah, okay. Right, let's give us another crack. Advantage, yes. Perception. Okay.
There we go.
And your lowest is my highest.
I've stopped colouring at this point.
And so you watch out, and do you guys wish to discuss anything as your watch passes?
Somehow Neff's got marshmallows now.
I mean, it's Neff, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah. Somehow she's got the only pack of graham crackers in the entire
Well, I mean, there are portals to Earth all over Faerun, so...
Yeah, Neff's not particularly talkative at this point.
Just chewing on marshmallows.
Yep. Kind of offering them to Barham. Because, you know, she's polite.
He refuses.
What are these strange, squishy things?
He refuses and just stays in his, basically he doesn't move towards Nephrin really, he just stays where he is and just wait it out.
Phew. Alright over there. That's very much a non-answer.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just had to drown Malzere yesterday, but I'm fine.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Never ask the dwarf what he wants or what he needs.
Okay then, what do you want and or need?
First, I need to slap Malzere more often.
I mean, I'm not against that.
You don't have permission, I do.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's my my agreement. It's someone else's permission for that, unfortunately.
I mean, it's not like he was waiting for anyone's permission. I don't know, you guys have all your families and stuff to do and people waiting on you and stuff like that.
Families? I don't have any such family.
Maybe not you, but the two over there, and he points to the two tieflings. They've always been bickering about their families for the longest time now.
Do you not ever look at it and think, man, I'm glad not to have had that? Sounds really quite difficult.
Did you know your family?
No. Never known them, and the people that I learnt to call family disappeared as well.
No, I wish I knew a bit more about my parents.
Do you know anything at all?
I know my father died in a cave-in. And I know I killed my mother when I came into the world.
But any
That sums
extended
it up. Well, I got a cousin. Don't know where he is really. Apparently, he would not even be in this continent.
Maybe with the work we're doing, we can find someone to help track him down. Or them. Perhaps that's what needs to be aimed for.
I don't know really. I just wanted to be famous, you know. But I'm just a big joke.
I wouldn't exactly put it that way. You've been very useful in this group.
Yeah, I know how to fight, and that's it.
Had some amazing moments.
I know how to fight, and that's it. Like, you, Nephryn, you know everything about nature, and you've lived so long that I'm sure you are like a book of history by yourself. Squeak can reproduce any kind of animal sounds, and other sounds. That's a cool thing. And the two others over there, and said when they're not killing each other, they're pretty cool at magic and stuff. I just have my sword. There's 100 like me. I don't know how I'm going to get any way famous just like being like that.
I'm not sure fame is what's worth aiming at.
Well, you got nothing, you got to aim at something, right?
Having people around you, that's far more important, I feel.
Honestly,
if fame comes from it, fame comes from it. And besides, if you don't have the family links, much like I don't, then you kind of have to create your own. And you do that through friends.
Honestly, that didn't work well for me the first time.
There's always other times.
Yeah.
Always options, always people.
Well, I don't know, because I might actually drown one of my friends really soon. But we'll see.
I feel like that's very dependent on whether they deserve it or not. And that's up to you at the time. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not sure they would appreciate it.
Nah. At least he had a bath.
True. It was long overdue.
And so you, Nephryn.
Mm-hmm.
what's your deal and all that? Well, what are you looking for? What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm just looking to find somewhere to belong. Somewhere that isn't just going to disappear.
Hmm.
And if that's here, it's here. If it isn't, then I'll go and find it somewhere else. I'm happy to wander and see where the path takes me.
Out of character, that reminds me of a song.
I'm wondering if it's the same song I'm thinking of right now.
Yeah, I actually want to sing it now, but no, I shouldn't.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
I'm gonna massacre. No, I'm gonna butcher it. No.
You know what's playing your drums?
I just imagined it now about Barum singing that as playing the drums. And I think at this point Barum would just like propose Nephrin a drink.
I appreciate that, thank you.
I thought for a minute there you were going to end that with, I'm just going to propose to Nephrin.
You said make a family. Here you go, come on then.
Barham, not one to be upstaged by two tieflings, gets down on one knee and thinks, fuck it, we'll do this sooner than them.
Difficult considering Barum, completely uninterested in romantic things.
As the sun's light starts to penetrate into the treetops, you guys all start to wake up from the night's sleep.
Woo!
It's
Oh, that's better.
It's not greatly restful. There's something weird and oppressive about this forest
Yeah.
that has stopped you from getting a very good night's sleep. You've got enough of a night's sleep to get back your health and all of your
Thank you.
things.
I was about to say.
You are fully recovered.
Excuse me, mate.
That explains why you didn't sleep particularly well.
Could everybody roll me a wisdom saving throw, please?
No.
No, I don't want to do that.
What did I just say in the thing where I have a
Oh, yeah,
minus?
I haven't rolled your luck yet.
Wisdom save.
100. Yeah, that explains it.
Okay.
I actually did good for a minus.
I get pissed off for a break. It's plus.
How's Squeak?
Squeak rolled a 19,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
so Squeak's okay, and Neff is okay.
Everyone else dies.
Everybody else just falls over. No. On your character sheets, Malzere, Calderax, and Barham,
Yes.
Exhaustion?
under features and traits,
Yeah.
could you just add madness level 1?
What?
Sure.
Why are we mad?
I'm assuming it's not a racial trait.
No.
It's just madness.
I put it under other.
Yes.
Yeah, other.
Do we get the table out?
I do get the table out now, yes.
Oh shit.
Calderax, could you roll me a d10?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm thinking Baru won't make it out alive, considering that I have a minus in wisdom.
And could you roll me a d100?
Oh fuck.
Roll 1, D100.
You suddenly think you're a teapot.
Calderax, you start to wake up for breakfast, and as you're preparing to... What's the first thing that Calderax does in the morning?
Groom himself.
As you are combing your hair and getting ready to put it into the ponytail, your eyes just glaze over for 2 minutes. And you just stare off into space.
He's just kind of robotically combing his hair.
He knows where his hair is, it's fine.
Malzare,
Yes.
could you roll me a d10?
Oh, fuck off. 5.
And could you roll me a d100?
Yes, I can. 9.
9!
What is the first thing that Malzare does of a morning?
He just goes straight to eating.
So you get the bread?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with bread.
Yeah, Neff bought bread.
And
We
you
could assume that's bread.
you bite down into the first
Bread
slice.
and cheese, actually.
Let's just state for just like posterity, Neff has bought the entirety of Lidl.
You bite down into the first slice of bread and cheese with a little plate of bread and cheese on one hand, and then you retreat within your own mind for 5 minutes,
Oh, fucking hell.
and you become paralyzed.
I'm so high.
That's quite a good cheese.
It's trippy cheese.
Barham, could
Yeah, one
could
D10,
could you
another
roll me those 2 dices, please?
8
Oh,
and
shit.
47.
Barham, what's the
First
first?
thing I do in the morning is boot Malzure.
You go over to Malzare and you boot him, and you go to say, "Wake up, Malzare," but instead you just say, "Flop."
Which in Barham's voice is...
For the next 8 minutes, you find yourself unable to speak, and can only communicate in babble.
Wow.
I babble for cheese.
Neff's going to have handed you a sandwich set anyway. Just because she knows that's probably what you're going to want.
I think for Mal it's even more terrifying to have Baru battling at him while he's putting him as being awake.
Shit.
Knowing your track record of kicking people, that is pretty scary, yeah.
You have a like wild bearded, very angry dwarf putting you as you wake up. Oh my god. That would wake up anyone.
Yeah, Malzare is definitely awake now.
It's not
I'm
how you
so
want us.
woke, dog.
And then about 5 minutes pass, and Malzare snaps back.
I think I'm going off cheese for life.
I just need to quickly share this into the D&D chatter.
What? What are you doing?
Well, after what Barham just did, I need to share this.
Okay.
D&D chatter.
It's D&D.
Morning.
Yes,
Where my brain went.
yes. Okay. So you
After that morning of madness.
Barham spends about 8 minutes just eating cheese and going, and then suddenly Common snaps back into his mind.
In the meantime, he was actually talking of everything that was important for him, and the fact that that life was complicated and what he wanted to do in his life. But you got none of this because it went up.
He also had a very good theory of how to end world hunger, but
We'll never know. You guys set off. Who's got the shade coin?
It was me, I think.
I think so, yeah.
so
Do you wish to look at it at this point?
Sure.
it's a trap.
I can already answer well.
You note that it looks lighter than it did when you were in Elanil? What's her name? Damn it.
That place.
Elanil. It looks lighter when it was in Elanil's place, as if the shadow that had clung to it is retreating.
Huh. That's not very good.
Well, shit.
Guys, this that just makes this look different.
It's lighter.
Right.
I think that's our cue to hurry.
Yeah, good point.
Squeak hoists her backpack on and let's do this.
Let's do this.
The trees grow thicker and taller as you enter the heart of Cormanthor, known as the Starwood. The shadow tops, as the great pines are called, stretch hundreds of feet from the forest floor to a canopy that is so dense that no light filters through to the ground below, plunging the forest here into an almost subterranean darkness. Squeak pulls out a lantern. But everybody else is fine with their ability to just see in the dark. As you're moving through this area of the forest, there are the decaying signs of ancient civilization. Just ruins of walls and buildings. Shattered stonework just strewn around. Would you guys like to make me a perception check, please?
Could you once in this game ask me for a check that doesn't require me a next?
Clara, make a strength check.
You picked up Neferin earlier.
Yeah, but that's three things on wisdom in a row.
Okay, so
We brought Squeak with us.
that is Calderax and Barham.
We both die again.
You just die. Just straight. You see a Medusa, you turn stone. You both see a one of the larger trees has a delicately
Words.
a staircase that has been carved delicately.
A delicately carved staircase.
Yes, thank you. Encircling its trunk and winding straight up into the darkness. And Neff, as Squeak just kind of tugs on your sleeve and points, you see a shadow-top tree that bears a large relief depiction of the setting sun, featuring a face of vaguely elven origin.
Okay.
But it is partially overgrown with moss and bark.
Neff will quietly point that out to the others.
And Neff, you will notice that this is the symbol of Labalas Enorath, an ancient elven god of time.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, and Neff will share that with people as well.
So you all see the thing I just described.
Whoop.
And as you...
And we point everything to Malzire.
Shut up.
Malzire is just wandering through the forest going, it's pretty dark here, isn't it?
One foot in front of the other and the next foot and keep walking and...
And suddenly, as you continue...
Every time we have to perceive anything, it's always the one who can't communicate readily with us.
Yeah.
I am a Kenku, and my speech is made up of mimicking.
Quite clearly, we've not taught her enough words yet.
Yeah, I think we need to just go through the entire dictionary so that she can just compile a sentence.
It'll be just like one of those automated messages where the speaker has completely different tones on different words. Like as you get further into the dictionary,
My name is Squeak.
as you get further into the dictionary, you're just more bored and exasperated with doing it. So it's just hello, my name
I like to play the xylophone.
As you press into the darkness of the Star Wood, the quiet is broken by a raucous peal of laughter, and you can suddenly hear a jarring up-tempo music being played on a poorly tuned string instrument.
Interesting.
I think this is going to be something that will revolt Malzray.
And as you get closer, you can hear elven voices arguing over a carafe of wine, and the rhythmic clapping of hands responding to the call of the music's beat. Clearly this is a party that started at some point last night, if not several nights hence, and is still going.
Wow.
Looks like they're having an interesting party.
Sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah, we're having a great time in this ruined place in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, well, it shows they're not picky, at least.
I'm thinking there's something hinky here.
Probably something similar to the cheese.
Leave the cheese alone.
Whoa, that cheese was drugged me, I'm telling you.
Leave the cheese alone.
I didn't even eat any cheese before I kind of spaced out a bit.
I don't know if that's Barham telling you to leave the cheese alone or Sammy.
Me.
That didn't answer the question.
Narrow it down.
I know, that's why I said it.
So would you guys like to quietly make your way up towards this group, or...
Quoting with Barham.
Yeah, I think...
Screw quietly with Barrows, quietly with fucking Caldrax with his disadvantage on stealth.
Welcome to my world.
I think Neff, given that they're elves, will...
Kill them all.
They won't expect me to kill them.
would wander up and ask them how the festivities are going.
As you approach... As you approach Neff... As you get into view of them, something's not right. They're before they spot you.
Yes.
You can see that their hair is white, and their skin is a dark purple color. These are not surface elves. These are drow.
Oh, woo! The fuck are they doing here?
There is a group of 8. 8 seems like a number.
8, yes, is indeed a number.
Confirm that it is a number.
Between 10 and 0, even.
There are 9 drow listening to the music, and 1 female drow who is playing the music poorly.
Wow, Malzray looks very insulted at this.
Yeah, I can make out this is poor music.
This is definitely poor music. Actually, would you guys all like to make me history checks?
Yeah.
Sure, I can fail at one of them.
Sure. Instead of a -1, I got a -3 now. How? How? I think I need to keep complaining about my bad rolls because
I was gonna
it seems to keep them away.
So, Calderax, you're the only one who actually rolled high enough according to the DC check.
I roll high.
This is unusual behaviour for the drow.
What? Being on the surface and being joyous.
Being joyous and drinking and being on the surface.
Something's seriously not right here.
Well, I just see elves doing a party, mate.
The drow on the surface having a good time.
Drow might have good times, I don't know.
They never have good. They're the most miserable bastards in the world.
Would Barham have ever had anything to do with drow, given...
Yes, but I'm too dumb.
Yeah, it's likely that he would have encountered...
Okay.
Possibly killed some of them.
Probably.
Also, drinking. They don't do drinking. I mean, not to excess like they're doing now.
I always knew they were completely miserable.
It's very odd. Thoughts?
Kill them all?
Can we detour around them? Where are we as far as getting to this coin thing that we're doing?
Yes.
I can't remember where we're aiming for to go for it.
You are aiming for the Eventide Abbey, which is in a number of trees above the Star Forest somewhere.
So my question being, can we get around them?
You could, in theory, sneak past them, yes.
Let's do that.
Sneak.
I was thinking more of a detour, a slightly longer walk of like...
You might not be able to do that one.
15 minutes of like, can we just...
Okay, Caldrax, let's do this.
It's a conveniently big party. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm rolling so shit.
Well, hold on to your butts. See?
Yeah, we're spotted.
Caldrax is just like, I'm sorry, I'm being drawn into the party.
How's Squeak?
Yeah.
Squeak rolled a 17.
That's what she's designed for.
With that, I'm gonna do the thing and call that a group test, and only one of you failed it. So as you sneak round the loud drow party, the off-tune fiddling of a song that you half recognise might be another song that you know of being played at the wrong tempo on an instrument that's not designed for it.
Tuned entirely wrong.
That nearly causes Malzere to stop and just play the right tune on his own fiddle.
Loot.
Is that giving some loving?
Calderax just steps on an old, discarded wine glass that...
Jesus, man, sort it out.
I just think we all stop and turn to Caldrax like, slowly.
I just hands out like, the fuck?
Mate!
But between you all,
Stealth!
you move swifter, and the drow aren't aware of your presence. And you hear several other shattering of glasses as maybe they heard the shattering of glass and thought, yeah, that sounds like fun. But you make your way away from the drow.
Hey.
I don't like stealthing.
I'm not a fan of drow, but there we go.
And finally, you reach the final approach to Eventide Abbey. You take a last moment to examine the shade coin, apparently. The box text tells me you do.
Yeah, we do. Definitely did.
I'm sorry, a strange
An
compulsion.
urge known as boxed text informs you that you have pulled out the shade coin and are looking at it.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Has its dark colour faded? Does the diminishing shadow magic Elanil claims it holds still remain? Will it be enough to draw the spirits into battle? All this and more next time. No. Craning your head back to examine the barely visible structure tucked into the branches at a dizzying height overhead. I'm going to read this as written. Not is the time to climb. And now I'm going to correct it. Now is the time to climb.
No, I'm pretty sure it's saying it's not.
Alright, let's go back home then.
So Eventide Abbey is held aloft in 3 of these trees, some 200 feet up in the air.
Oh, fucking great.
Okay.
Basically, the old elves, tree singers, sculpted the trees in such a way that the branches interweave and are sturdy and connect. And you're sure that probably maybe still holds?
We're still gonna fall to our death.
We'll be fine.
There is a delicately carved staircase.
Oh, bollocks.
This time you managed to say it.
I did. I'm proud of me. That winds up the outside of this tree trunk. And as you presumably make your way up the staircase,
Making my way downtown.
the craftsmanship of the elven tree singers is a marvel to behold, even after over a century of neglect. The delicate staircase before you is shaped from finely woven branches and broad enough for 2 of you to walk next to each other.
That's a bit shit.
The spiral winds the perimeter of the massive trunk, climbing from the forest floor to the branches that must be 200 feet overhead.
We'll get partners, except for Squeak. Oh my god.
Would you guys please make me a constitution check?
Why constitution? Is it a save or a street check?
It is a straight check.
Oh, I'm a bit better.
Yeah, I'm loving the 10s today, apparently.
Yes.
It is a long and wearying climb, but you all manage to avoid the fault. You all are brave and very in-shape adventurers able to climb 200-foot-long staircases.
Oh my god. You know what that reminds me of?
Damn straight I am.
That reminds me of my friends in their Tomb of Annihilation campaign. They were making their way up this really massive mountainside, but one of them was an Aarakocra who flew up there in about 15 minutes, and he was just playing cards with them whilst the others took 3 hours to climb up.
Damn straight I am. I climbed 200 odd steps in Polperro.
And then I questioned, did I actually put you guys on this map yet? And the answer seems to be no, I didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
God damn it, Jan.
So where's...
But we used our imagination.
No, I mean, I haven't actually put your tokens on the map.
Oh.
Well, we'll use our imagination for that.
We're already used to it by this point.
Any minute now, it's going to let me... I think the game may have frozen.
No, it didn't want to climb 200 feet.
It's a very big map.
Is it more than 150 feet? 50 square.
Yes, the page is now unresponsive. Yay.
Yeah, that's why, because it's more than 150 square. Doesn't like it.
It gets all scared.
Please bear with me while I deal with these minor technical difficulties.
So, whilst you do that, little trivia for people watching. I was late today because of a one-shot campaign where I accidentally caused the bad ending to happen.
Well then.
Yeah.
Apparently, Yaghol and Fenthwick went missing in Sims 4, but they've come back now.
You went missing.
No, they went to the bar to drink. We both know that.
Yes. By any chance, at the same time, Tanny, did a tavern mysteriously catch fire?
Or did they find a brothel?
Yeah. Or did they find a brothel? As Fenthwick can attest, they do fantastic food in brothels.
Nope, sadly not.
Or doesn't that just suck?
I want a refund.
So, how many people died in your campaign?
All of them. Apparently we shall never get an answer.
And Amy's completely
Oh
ignoring
shit, sorry.
me. Okay.
Sorry, I was distracted. What did you say?
How many people died?
Oh, no one in our team died, but we met these two kids who were like, hey, our mum and dad have gone missing, can you help us find them? And we found them, and the dad was kind of, in the whole, like, because this is a Bloodborne thing, it was the case that the hunt was happening, and we couldn't get to any safe places because we were covered in blood, so everyone thought we were infected when we weren't. But then we found this hunter who was, like, you know, becoming corrupted because of the actual infection, and his wife had a music box, and we had the other music box, so when we played it, we could, like, kind of bring him around, and he had to succeed, I think, 3 wisdom saves in order to do so. But Raxadal was like, well, no, because I don't work for the church, I just work for the greater good of people, and this guy's posing a threat, so he made him fail 2 saves by attacking him, and on the last thing, he failed the last saving throw, which meant he had to become evil and stuff, and we had to kill him in front of his wife, so his wife banned me from the house.
Well then.
She literally just went, farewell and good luck, and then just looked at him, don't ever come to my house again.
You aren't getting invited anymore.
You succeeded completely there.
Yeah.
You didn't fuck up.
Leon.
I'm gonna put Theodos and Seraphine on the computer now.
You do that.
And we're gonna point the arrow at the game.
Apparently, it's not. It's just not letting me do stuff.
Huzzah!
I think we were really gonna have to use our imagination there.
I'm gonna see if I can get this open in Firefox.
Not Firefox!
I'm afraid Firefox.
Firefox isn't that bad. It's not Microsoft Edge.
It is true. It is not that. I mean, Amy, at one point in one of my old role-playing games, while this loads, I did have a game where we went inside the bad guy's mind, and we were in his memories, and we accidentally set fire to some of his beloved childhood memories.
Whoops.
That's why he went mad.
And yeah, that basically ensured that he went mad and was never able to be rescued ever again.
Well then.
I just imagine the same thing, like you go in his mind, go back to his childhood memories, and you are the bullies in his childhood memories. Therefore, you created your own evil.
That'd be a good story idea.
Well, now you can go, Amy. Use that. Make another book.
Okay. I'll just make Brandovin's backstory. That's the whole reason Guan is fighting us, because Brandovin bullied him in school.
That all makes sense.
Knowing his backstory, that would be an interesting moment in his backstory. But who bullied Brandivin in his childhood then?
Okay, I've nearly got everybody's tokens in.
His father.
True. I like his father though. He's funny. He makes a good meme.
For shame.
For shame. I need to use that more often.
I might need to turn off the dynamic lighting on this map.
I might need to turn off the dynamic lighting, the advanced fog of war, and actually the characters as well, and the game. And
I'll just have to trust you guys not to look through the walls of the map.
so what we're gonna do?
I mean, you've essentially told us to do that now.
Aww.
And there weren't that many walls of this map.
I'm trying to find excuses.
Do-do.
No, it's a very open place.
In my room. Muffin, muffin, muff.
Right, let's bring you guys over to the map.
And now
Ah.
yes. He's just flying about near my computer screen. Fucking moths.
If I can actually find where we are. Okay, yeah.
Zoom right out. Oh, there we are. Okay.
Focus, you map. Focus.
Might take a moment.
Getting there, started
It's
to
also a slightly fuzzy map because they printed it about this small.
Okay, so it's gonna hurt my eyes then. Okay, good.
And I will also grab this and put this here and drag it down like this. And then I will press this button to show everybody else the map as well.
Hey.
My God, he remembered.
The branches beneath your feet sway gently as you emerge onto a wide landing carved into the side of the tree. A set of gorgeous embossed oak doors standing before you depict a dazzling sunset over a vast forest. To your right, the limb you're standing on tapers to a narrow bridge that stretches towards a second distant tree.
Oh, woo.
Well.
Where would you like to go?
But before anything, I just need to quickly inquire. Are we going by the squares on the picture or the squares on Roll20?
Go with the squares on Roll20.
Because otherwise we're going to have to keep pressing Alt to get on
The squares on the map don't line up quite right with everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought I'd confirm that before we
Go with grid.
Go with grid.
Okay.
Assume that grid that is on tree, grid that is off tree.
Okay.
As well. Like,
Okay.
that also.
Roll with that.
Because tree is at this level about 200 feet up in the air. If you walk off it, things ain't too bright for you.
If only I had better fall.
It's how much damage again for 10 feet?
Every 10 feet is a d6.
So a maximum of 20, isn't it? Or something like that?
Something like that.
20d6.
But from this height, it'll be 20 d6. So don't just wander off the tree.
Because 20d6 is terminal velocity.
Right. Let's go.
So
So
I'm
this
just
is
gonna-
number one. It is time to commit seppuku.
Can I do a perception just to see whether there's anything else up here as far as signs of beings being up here? I assume if it's not, there'll be cobwebs everywhere.
There are a lot of cobwebs. It doesn't look like this place has been inhabited for a long time, at least by the living.
Okay.
Or at least anything that anything that cares to clean it. At the moment, you sense nothing.
just kind of turns back. There are no spooks.
There are no spooks.
good.
Okay.
How long does Eyes of the Grave last? Is it literally a ping?
I think it's just a ping. Cause,
End of your next turn, so like 6 seconds.
Yeah, 6 seconds.
And then actually, until the end of your next turn.
Bing.
Boop. Boop, boop. They call it a tree.
Okay.
Let's go.
So there's doors in front of us?
Yeah, there's finely carved oak doors here. Like, literally carved out of the tree itself.
Is it time for some perception?
I'm gonna do some listening at the door.
Yes. Oh, are you kidding?
You hear nothing.
I think we're good, guys.
Thank God for nothing.
You hear nothing on the other side.
Ah, turns out now you were right. Cool.
What, do you doubt me, Nephrin?
Sometimes, yes.
Do you doubt me? You're amazing second in command.
Second in command?
So you maintain that I'm first then? Okay.
What? Yeah. I never denied it.
You just don't like Squeak saying it.
Turns to
No.
speak, hoping for
And
sentence.
at the same time that Karlrak says second in command, Baron just says, in command?
Fuck you. Let's go through the motherfucking door.
This wedge-shaped chamber is adorned with serene mosaics formed from a slight variation. I've gone to the Drow party a little too long.
There's a slight variation.
Slight variations in the colour of individual bark chips. Each of the 6 works lining the walls depict common scenes in elven life. From the setting...
Get in!
Oh yeah.
That might be because the door is
Boop.
There we go.
Apparently, even with dynamic lighting disabled, it still doesn't allow you through the wall.
Yep.
Interesting.
Which is interesting.
Formed from slight variation, each of the 6 works lining the walls depicts common scenes from elven life, with the setting sun featuring prominently in each of them. Whatever colour once infused these mosaics has long since faded, giving the room a washed-out and muted feel. 2 doors are set into the walls opposite, with a wooden lectern growing seamlessly from the floor between them. Several benches rest half-submerged into the tree walls, as if they are in the process of being reclaimed by the tree itself. And my connection to the server has been interrupted. Anything I do now, they will attempt to send when I'm back online, but be on the safe side, I might want to stop doing anything important, like streaming a streamy stream.
Yeah, mine said the same.
I'm back.
And turn
I
order
don't
begins.
like that box. Can that box go away?
No, I'm afraid not.
Sad times.
Initiatives?
Can anybody detect the invisible?
I don't think so.
Cool.
I mean, I got eyes of the grave. You want me to quickly do that job?
That's up to you, innit?
Fuck it.
Ping.
Oh shit.
Where? Looking at something else at the time.
Let me re-ping one moment. Let me just roll my...
Oh.
I didn't see the ping.
Me neither. I am awaiting ping.
Ping. Oh, no, wait. Ping.
Just like
Ping.
Ping. It's like
Ping.
Eldrax just suddenly pulls out
Ping.
his mace and is like, I'm dead.
So...
Oh fucking hell.
there, actually. Good. Initiative time, then.
Oh. My boy Demogorgon's getting some nice snacks tonight.
Well, enjoy your party once again.
Hell yeah.
Mister.
Hey.
Okay, now I need to...
Looking through all my spells, see if I have anything that can fuck these guys up.
Oh no, that's you. Where's his abilities and what can he do? Okay, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 15 hit your armor class?
Bitch, please.
As you enter the room, there's a spark of lightning shoots out and just like clashes across your armor, and a small spirit head just appears in the space that you were in.
Well, fuck you too.
Neferin.
Hi.
There is a small ghostly spirit assaulting Calderax.
Oh, can we keep it?
It is also slightly glowing.
If it's slightly, so it's just that one that's slightly glowing for the moment, is all we know of.
Yes.
Is it? Okay, I guess. I don't really want to shoot it because I feel like that's probably not a good idea. As in, I imagine it's probably just going to go straight through. Oh, fuck it, let's try it.
There is one way to find out.
Yeah, let's longbow it.
That misses.
Let's longbow it again.
That one hits.
So much rain.
Sorry, I just need to move you a second.
What level are we again? We're level 5, aren't we?
Still 5, because you need a lot of experience.
The arrow pierces through it, and it seems to do some damage.
Oh.
Not maybe as much as you were expecting.
No, I wasn't expecting any, so slightly more than I was expecting.
More than you were expecting, less than you were hoping for. They should be updated for now, with the exception of maybe you having to add 200.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
And then it is...
Sweet. Oh no.
That's why I couldn't see it, because it's literally underneath me.
Barham.
Yeah.
A 9.
Bitch, please. Respect me.
Respect my motherfucking authority!
Malzere.
Oh, fucking hell. That's my plan out the window.
A 17.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 3 points of lightning damage as it just...
Ow.
You've been
Mate.
You've been tased.
Just my little side fringe stands up on it.
Your tail stands up as well.
Squeak will run forward to the door, fire at the one that just bezapped Malzere. And it is a sneak attack. And that is a hit. Oh boy, that's damage. 15 plus 8 is many.
23.
To...
Oh, 23.
Holy shit balls, my mouth and maths.
Mama!
So the arrow sinks in, doesn't do as much damage as you'd hoped, but deals some damage at the very least. Then it is...
Bob.
Ah, he's going the wrong way.
No, he's going the right way, John. Keep him going that way.
Barham.
Yeah.
13 to hit.
No.
Calderax,
Yes.
'tis your turn.
So a quick look here. Sorry, I'm just quickly having a quick look through. Well, I've got a plan. At least how to disperse them a little. Fuck it. It's. Well, then again, do I want to use this now, or do I want to save it for other undead bastards?
Bastards.
Because I was going to use turn undead.
Ooh.
Is it a one-time use spell?
It's a class feature.
Oh.
When do I get my channeled abilities back? Is it with a short rest or long rest?
It's short, I think?
Short or long rest. There it is. So, fuck it. Turn undead, motherfuckers!
Okay, so they need to make wisdom saves. How many is the number?
Is it just my normal spell modifier?
Yes.
It should be.
No, it's 16. 1 makes it, 2 makes it.
3 make it. So these two do not. That is not the right button.
Can fuck all the way off.
What's your level of destroy undead at the moment?
We're only level 5, John, so I can't.
You don't have that yet.
I can't destroy. I can only destroy half level or lower.
Cool.
Shit.
They aren't that.
Nope. I think they're 2 or 1. 1 or 2.
Oh, fuck off.
Malzere,
He's
What?
on you as well.
21 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
That is 5 more points of lightning damage. As
I don't appreciate these little shits.
hey, Incursor.
Hey.
As the ghostly form just apparates and appears on your desk space.
Fucking slut.
Malzere.
Right. I'm going to aim a fairy fire here to try and reveal the others that are trying to hide.
Okay, so that's a... Do they make a save for that? Any creature in the area when the spell is
Dex
cast,
save.
outline if it fails a dex save. Good job there, so feckin' dexterous.
Really? Which is bad, because my DC's 13.
So can everybody make me a dex saving throw, please?
Put it here, 120 feet. What the, oh yeah, this would include me as well. Whoops.
Dexterity saving.
So what was your... what's your...
13, so 1 fails.
I dex save the
Hey.
fuck out of it. Not that I need.
Thanks to you, Malzre, for giving advantage on people to attack me.
Yep, literally only one of them fails. God damn it. I make it glow in a purple light.
What colour does
That
Barum
sounds-
glow?
That would be red.
Alright,
Because it's
to make it up to you,
red hat.
Barum, I'll give you... To make it up to you, I'll give you bardic inspiration.
He turns to you and says, "The fuck are you doing?"
I just strum my lute at you in response.
I'm sorry, Barum.
I'm sorry.
Barum.
That is D8.
So, as Malzure just fucked me over, I'm gonna rage you to that. For fuck's sake! I'm gonna reckless attack anyway because they got advantage on me anyway, so I might as well do that. And I'm gonna attack the one in front of me with a talon.
Do it.
With a 13,
That is a miss.
and talon him again with
That-
a 22.
Is a hit.
Second number,
So that is 14 points of damage.
probably reduced to half.
Doesn't seem to be.
No. interesting. I will attempt an interesting thing of hugging a ghost and see if that works.
Are you hugging the same ghost?
Nope.
Never mind.
Yep.
You miss ghost.
And apparently I wanted to roll 12.
You did.
You can add your D8.
I'm keeping that for later, actually.
Oh, you got it locked up in a little box.
Much like the food he keeps in his beard.
Uh,
Later.
Calderax,
Yeah.
does a 19 hit you?
19 does hit me.
You get 10 points of lightning damage.
The fuck?
It's not the business.
Everyone else gets fuck all from them. I actually get something damaging.
Neferin.
You get an advantage on this one. The pinky one.
Yeah, I've not really got anything else to.
Yeah, this bearded one here, you got advantage on.
Yeah, or you can shoot me.
About to offer Barham and hit someone else. Yeah, really, I can only longbow it, can't I?
Or you can try and save Calderax.
There's one like right on top of me.
Yeah, I'll shoot. I'll shoot the one that's on top of you.
If you could move out of the way for me, Calderax.
There's literally one on top of Calderax and one on Malzir.
Yeah, let's have a crack at that one.
That's a hit.
Achoo!
Okay.
Is there such a thing of how's it looking?
Transparent.
I believe that one has barely taken anything, so it's probably
Slightly ephemeral.
Okay. Yeah, I'll longbow Calderax's one again.
Cool. That's a hit. Okay.
I have a question, John. Do the arrow actually stay stuck into him, or do they just fly past?
No, it sort of goes through the space that he is in and out the other side, and sort of there is some form there that it tears apart, but it doesn't have anything to stick into. This one moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Fuck you.
And just like hits the wall and there's a glob. Yes?
I'm still... Does reckless attack still applies to it?
I think it is all attacks you make this turn, so yes.
Well then. Advantage. 25.
That is a hit.
The first number again.
So that is 14. And then I believe it is this one, who moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Malzray, you can make an attack of opportunity if you wish to.
Oh, I'd love to. Let me just go back to my sheet. And the 10 million weapons strapped to me now.
Oh, you're complaining about having too many weapons.
40?
Not good enough to hit, I'm afraid.
Okay.
It just ghosts away from you. And
Meh.
out the wall.
Ghosts away.
Bye.
Squeak will shoot at the one that is in Malzeray's space.
That is in Malzire.
That is a miss.
Whew.
And
So I
so,
just duck out the way.
Hold on, then. 18 is a miss?
yep,
Yep.
Dexy as fuck.
they are
They are dexterous, they are small, and they are incorporeal.
they are not easy to hit. Barham, that is a 19 to hit you.
This one hits.
There's 14 points of lightning damage.
And I can't have that. Thanks!
Jesus Christ.
He rolled
I mean,
well.
I mean, I'm also wearing armor. The entire thing is actually fine.
Calderax,
Yes.
It is now your turn.
Right. What do I want to do?
Well, I'm not cleaning it up.
Oh yes, you are. That's because of you. I'm in this shit.
Yeah,
Literally.
it's your fault for being in the way!
Bollocks to it.
Nice.
It's not gonna hit.
That is a miss.
The
What's
return of
there
the
at
pimp
least?
cane.
But yeah, I'm like summoning it like there.
Insert it into me, Daddy!
Here.
Oh, well,
There, Sean.
yep.
Cool.
I'm so sorry.
It's alright.
Malzere,
Yes.
does a 6 hit you?
No.
Malzere.
Alright, I'm gonna step here just to get off this thing. And to the one I just stepped off with, I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery. And I'm gonna say, hey, I call your mum gay, but you don't have a mum, so fuck you.
Apparently that wasn't very good insult, but he does take it.
Whoever did strike deep with his eye.
And then,
Doesn't
thank you for that.
does that mean he has to run away? No, that's Dissonant
no.
Whispers.
It means, I think it's like, hang on, it's like the next attack on him is at disadvantage or something.
He just feels bad about himself.
He has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. Well, in which case I will heal Caldorax then. Me? Because I'm a... Yes, you.
No, me.
Yes, because we're becoming friends now. 2. That's
So
a
9.
Just whispers, just bang already.
5, 6, 7.
Barham.
Yeah, but you can take the damage, he can't!
He's squishy.
Actually, Baron can't take the damage.
No, I can't reduce that damage.
Well, rip and skip. Love you too!
Barham.
I'm gonna reckless attack again.
If you're attacking this one, you can just attack him and get advantage anyway.
No, I'm not taking this one.
Oh, you're attacking that one.
That missed.
Okay.
But anyway, I was going to get advantage on me anyway, so I might just as well do it every turn now.
This is true. This is true.
I'm gonna turn on the one that is between me and Malzre. Again, 24.
That is a hit.
So that's 10 points of damage, please.
It dissipates.
And then I'm gonna move next to Malzre and resist the urge of punching him to hug the ghost, or at least try to. No,
You do not.
slippery devils.
Caldorax.
Yes.
A 19 to hit.
That also hits me.
That is 11 points of lightning damage.
So all that health I just got has gone away again.
At least you didn't lose anything more.
Easy
I
come,
did.
easy
I did
go.
for health. So... Today's
Neferin.
I wonder whether just to run in there and have a crack with my rapier.
'Tis an option.
Is this one still above Caldorax?
Yes. Caldorax is technically standing in that space as well. It just makes it really difficult to interact with the token.
I'm going to not risk flinging a rapier around above Caldorax's head. I'm going to fire a longbow at it again.
Cool.
Or maybe not.
You miss.
Maybe that was dangerous.
Okay. You're not going to risk stabbing with me with a rapier, instead you're going to fire at me.
Okay. Then what is no.
That is a hit. Ooh, very nice.
That's better.
It dissipates for a second and then reforms and is angry.
What's Star Steward?
So, as it's angry, is it turning into a red ball?
Yes. It is glowing slightly brighter as well now. Squeak will fire at that one. And will also hit. And will deal 18 points of damage. Halved. Calderax.
Right. As a bonus action, I'm going to attempt to smack the one that's been... Well, first of all, I will take a step backwards so that I'm not sharing a space with this thing.
Cool.
That I am now actually there.
Useful.
Then I'm going to smack, as with a bonus action, I'm going to smack this one with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
So, 20!
That will hit.
And so that's going to be at... yeah, I'll just do it at so 11 force damage.
That is more than the 1 health it had left.
And then for my actual action, I will do... I'm going to do a guiding bolt at the one between them. It's not going to hit. So.
That missed.
I just imagine John saying, that miss, and you hit Baron, who gets double advantage on you now.
Yeah, I get some.
Vulnerability on that damage, so double damage, yay!
So it is the ghost's turn, and he has disadvantage, and he will not hit Malzare.
He will suck extensively.
And he really just is thinking deeply about what Malzare said about his mum. Has Malzare returned? I'm going to take that silence as a no. Barum.
The revenge is nigh. Miss.
That is a miss. That is also a miss.
D8.
I'm back!
I said it just before you said it was a miss, so I can count it.
You can count that.
Plus 7.
That is a hit now.
10 points of damage.
Malzare,
Yeah?
it was your turn. What did you do?
Oh shit. I guess vicious mockery again. I'll go. Where should I go?
It's alright, your mum never loved you anyway.
No, that's me.
That's the point of just mockery. Kind of.
Alright, hey, Faye, more like gay. There we go. Yay!
He was maybe gay.
It shimmers.
It sparkles.
Neff.
Hey, I wasn't finished.
Oh wait, no. Barum gets a hug. Barum hits with a hug.
Hey!
He does damage with a hug.
He does damage with a hug.
That is halved.
Neff.
That is me. So is there only this one left now?
There is only that one left, yes. You get the feeling that in a few hours' time there are going to be 2 confused ones that return.
Nope.
Yes.
Yay!
Your arrow passes through it and it just dissipates, just with an angry screeching.
As he dies, there's an angry screeching of, oh, thank fuck!
And then, how long does Fairy Fire last?
I think it's like a minute or 10 minutes.
A few
a
minutes.
minute or 10 minutes is not the same thing.
Fire concentration up to a minute.
Yeah.
A few minutes pass, and Barham stops glowing.
Oh, it's a shame.
This place.
Oh no. No.
Oh, wait for it. Oh.
No, I really would rather not have a hug from you today, Barham. Oh, fucking hell. What are you doing?
Punched you.
Yeah, that hit.
That's 4.
So that's 4 points of damage.
Fucking hell.
Next time, aim!
So, we still friends?
Fuck off!
Technically speaking, you're the one who didn't avoid it.
But
Turns
stick.
to counteraxe. What?
I said, technically, you're the one who didn't avoid it.
And I said, technically, now is not the time or the place.
Technically, Nephrin is leader, because she has her shit
Right,
mostly
shut up,
to...
Squeak!
We've got to sort out this stuff. We
More
will.
importantly, that doesn't hit me.
No, I know it didn't need you. I have begun to understand your AC now.
We will figure this out when we're back on the ground once we've done what we need to do.
Agreed. It is not the place to start fighting each other when fucking will-o-wisps can appear out of fucking nowhere.
For once, I'm being responsible. Anyway, let's go to the next door.
Anyway, where's the bar?
Which door do you want to go through?
This one. Well, I wouldn't listen in it first.
You hear nothing, and apparently I forgot to draw a door here, so you can just walk through.
Well, we know how wonderful hearing nothing works in this place.
A series of paired plain benches face each other across a simple table, lining the walls, with 2 sturdy-looking doors leading out, one back to the room you came from, and one leading further into the Abbey.
I will roll investigation.
You can roll me a perception.
Yeah,
Please.
I'll do that
Just as well,
instead.
'cause that investigation sucked.
Okay.
You spot a dusty, partially moss-covered panel set into the wall that has... it appears it can move.
Can I push it?
You push it open, and there are a cache of very old religious texts.
Cal!
What?
There's some Bible shit here.
What the fuck's a Bible?
There's some religion shit here.
It's papery and it's got words on it. I don't like it.
Comes in, he somehow has Neff's bag of marshmallows.
Right. That's
You
fine.
and me, Cal. Let's see who rolls the high religion.
Well, it's gonna be you.
Right. I'll do 3, 2, 1. 3, 2.
Oh, we're not
One.
ready. No.
Well, get ready.
I'm ready.
Hi, Mercury.
You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
See?
Oh my god.
And you both roll
Well,
shit.
it's true, if you're a cleric, you should be able to roll fucking religion at advantage. Because
Yeah.
Hang on, I wanna know what my thoughts on religion are. Yay! Religion.
Well, sure.
is, Neff says, "What's religion?"
Oh my god.
And of course, it's the mute one.
Yeah, once again, the person who fucking can't articulate anything. What the fuck would you have done if we all picked Henkus?
It would have been hilarious and awful.
Wow.
Can we do a one shot where we're all kenkus?
Sure, at some point.
After that, we got to do one where we're all goblins because that's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Maybe that should be a random thing that slots in on Fridays.
We'll work it in. These are very old religious texts that are... Jesus, that drow party is a long effect. Very old religious texts, beautifully illuminated in the elven style.
Cool.
Who are they written in elven or elven style?
They are written in elven.
I can't read Elven.
Me neither.
Hey, religion. Neff will just read it vaguely to you.
Alright.
Squeak can also read elven.
What?
But can't
She can't
articulate.
read it to us.
She can also, in case anybody's wondering, speak giant, goblin, and primordial.
What a fucking nerd. I can only speak Common and Infernal.
I can speak common, infernal, undercommon, and celestial.
Yeah, Malzori's not very intelligent. His intelligence is 11.
Squeak being a, what is the thing she is? She's a mastermind.
Wait, why is Malzori's intelligence higher than his wisdom?
I don't know. You made him.
Yeah, that sounds like a you thing.
So basically, this is just some old religious texts in Elven. You can spend some time to read them if you want, but...
Not particularly, bearing in mind we've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Have a skim for anything that might look useful. But we'll crack on.
Okay. Which door do you move to now?
Oh yeah, we're all in here somewhere, aren't
Yeah,
we?
the only other one we can go to.
This one, can I listen at it?
Sure.
Just because, you know.
Baron, come back!
Baron's
Hey.
literally not coming with you, he's just waiting there.
Oof.
Barum, come on.
I want Nephrin to go, grab him by the ear, and
I promise to not stand in the way of whatever you need to do to Malzere when we get out of this tree. Just
No,
now
it's
is not the
fine.
time.
Go. I'll just
Come
wait
on.
for the two others to come back.
Do I hear that?
It would have been said under breath.
Yeah, I would have thought that would be quite quiet.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm just waiting for the two others to come back.
I'm sure they'll quite happily find us.
Fuck
They
it, I'm just
don't-
going through the door.
They don't appear to have anything stopping them coming through any
so
walls
just
or
go through the door.
anything.
You can go.
Pops it in.
You can go to the. You can go through the door if there's a problem, and just burst through this door and come in.
I assume this door's open.
Yeah, it can be opened.
Well, if it's not open, I just kick the door in. Strength isn't much of a problem to me.
Neff will nudge this door just to see what the others are doing.
Carved wooden divans with rotted, tattered cushions and small, dry fountain with no obvious source of water suggests that this chamber was once a pleasant place when the abbey was occupied. There is a set of heavy double doors that lead deeper into the abbey.
Why is it always religious stuff?
I'm assuming I don't have any pings.
There are no pings.
It's literally as soon as the door opens, it's like looks around.
See, this is why demon worship is a lot better. It actually makes a bit of sense.
How does it make sense?
Well, they're very blunt about what they want.
One of them is a two-headed baboon with dragon legs and tentacles for arms.
I know.
Very straightforward about what they want, says Squeak.
Caleb was very straightforward about what he wants. No
Yeah, well-
necromancers, and for people to get where they belong after they die.
Yeah, I know, but like, you have to go through trials and shit. It's all cryptic, and then the Demogorgon's just like, bzz, there you go.
Squeak comes over.
The Demogorgon's all, "Bzzzt, there you go, now I want something."
I mean, if it's all about, you know, getting rid of the undead, then what's the problem? I mean, isn't that the same thing you're doing?
Just gives you a look of you don't fucking understand.
So there's nothing in here.
Nope.
Squeak just said I make my own fun.
Squeak comes over to Nephra and says, I make my own fun.
Draws on a fucking floor.
So there is a double door in here that has overgrown and appears to be sealed shut.
I will cut through all the overgrowth.
Okay. You can either make me a strength check to break it down, or spend 10 minutes hacking away.
Will that do?
That will not do.
Well, I will spend 10 minutes then.
Does it look like it's like just grown over naturally over time, or as in like druidic?
No, it looks like it's been about a century since anybody used the door.
Yeah, I was making sure it's not like some fucking nature magic person has deliberately sealed this door.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure nothing bad can happen. Snip, snip, snip.
So you guys take 10 minutes as Malzere just hacks.
I did it!
Look what I did.
You proud of me, Dad?
My dad.
My dad's just in an armchair somewhere, I think.
So is mine, probably. Wow, it's tight.
Barham, come on. What can I do to make you join us? We need you, and I'm not willing to leave you here alone. I'm gonna follow you guys when you leave the place.
Do you like my top-notch acting?
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. Unlike Goatface. Okay, first of all, suck a dick.
And this is just setting him. It's just setting Barham up to be just like swamped with undead.
I'm sorry.
Tasers.
I'm sorry, Amy, but as soon as you began reading the thing, I had to write this just to hear you say it.
I love it. Alright, let's go. Can we get through the door now?
You can get through the door now.
I will step through.
So you emerge back onto the branches of the tree hanging 200 feet above the ground.
Who's scared of heights?
No, good.
Nope.
Good. Let's keep going then.
The tapering branches of the great shadow top stretch across the empty air to meet the nearest narrow limb of a distant tree, forming a living bridge. Set into the far trunk, you can vaguely make out the rough shape of another doorway leading deeper into the Abbey complex.
Joy to the world.
Let's burn some trees.
I hope we didn't burn the tree while we're on it.
Did any of you watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
I have no idea what that is.
Yes, vaguely.
It was on one of the episodes. Their heating shuts down because it's like too cold outside, and they can't get any delivery in. So they find out that they've got like an original like burning furnace.
Malzere,
And yes.
can you make me an acrobatics check?
Okay, I'll do that whilst I finish the story. Shit. Oh shit.
Malzere,
Yeah, do I...
you get to a point in the branches where they start to thin out between the two trees.
Yeah.
And you just slip. Can you make me a strength saving throw, please?
Oh no! Whoops. Oh, I should be alright with this.
Say that.
Okay.
Okay.
Typey type.
You
burn all the.
you
oh,
slip and you hit a branch, and you just grab hold of the edge of another branch. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh fucking hell! I just healed that.
That's funny, Caldra said that just earlier.
So I'm just hanging there.
And you can pull yourself back up again.
Okay.
Question: what sort of distance does it go thin for?
It's only a few feet.
And do we all have to make that save?
Yes.
Fuck
check through?
my life.
Who isn't feeling particularly acrobatic?
I am not very acrobatic.
Can I? Where does it get thin? Where?
Sort of
we looking?
about here.
Okay, so I want to go up to the edge of it.
Joy to the world. Let's
And-
fall off the tree.
If I hand Cal a rope
Yes.
and will suggest he ties it to something, I will jump across with the other end, hopefully.
Okay.
So that then they can hopefully get advantage to help them across it. Does that work?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Squeak.
Oh, shit.
Can you make me a strength saving throw, please? Please? Oh, thank God.
Thank God. Oh God.
Yeah, because if
I
not,
mean,
you fall to,
technically, Cal's got hold of the other end of the rope, so...
if not, you fall 200 feet and die.
So that's 6 points of damage, Neff, as you just you leap.
Squeak, can you stop telling me that I'm taking damage, please? I don't appreciate it.
You leap and you sort of stumble.
Right, now I'm going to tie this to the other end.
Everybody
Cal,
else.
have you tied it your end?
What can I tie it to?
You're stood on branches.
Yeah, I'm stood on it.
There will be uprights around it.
Are there uprights around it?
You can find an upright that you think will support the rope.
Then I
Also-
do that thing.
So make me a acrobatics check with advantage.
Yay.
Advantage. 8.
No!
Make me a strength saving throw, please. You take 2 points of damage as you slip.
2. I'm on 31.
Oh God. Sorry, I'd like to imagine that he kind of slips, but like his legs are still on the branch, so it just gives him really bad wedgie.
You feel more spectacular than me.
Squeak just kind of does somersaults across it, because acrobatic as a fuck.
She flaps.
But that's what Neff should do, with a +6.
Yes, you... Barham.
He looks at the whole thing, and he's unsure.
I mean, if it was a dexterity fucking check, I could do something about it, but I can't. I literally prepared enhanced ability just in case, but it only gives advantage on dexterity checks, not fucking
Yeah.
acrobatics.
You guys are sure there's no other way?
Doesn't seem like it.
I mean, there might have been way back through the building we went through, but God only knows how long that takes.
Would we be able to see over the other side?
Uh...
It kind of looks like we could.
You can
Well-
vaguely see another set of branches.
Here goes nothing.
You're fine. So, the sweet life of Zack and Cody.
Oh yeah. So there's a there's a part where shit, what was his name? Arwen, the mechanic. He gets really excited because he can burn all the old furniture on the furnace. So he just screams, "Joy to the world! Let's burn some chairs!"
Okay.
An elaborately carved archway marks the passage into the trunk of the second shadow top tree. Delicate rune letters in a variety of languages, both common and others, mark this as a library of divine lore.
Ooh.
Speak, friend, and enter.
What are you on about?
That's
Lord
what
of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh. Okay.
You don't know.
It's on
Mellow.
stream. It's on stream for everyone to behold now.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at the stream. I never will.
Oh.
No, I will.
Stacked rows. Oh, do you go in or do you stand outside looking at the map passage?
Now that you've said, John, I'm just going to stand out here.
Okay.
I go in.
Stacked.
Okay, I go. On, I go in.
1 moment. I said 1 moment.
Or 12.
There are no undead
That
in this room.
that was a very specific thing there.
It's a very specific ability that you have.
Yeah, I know. There are no undead. However, there are hundreds of aberrations.
Stacked rows of carefully ordered shelves stretch towards the vaulted ceiling some 50 feet over your heads. But now they sit empty, no sign remains of whatever tomes and scrolls they once held. The entire chamber is spotlessly preserved with no traces of dust or signs of abandonment. 2 closed sets of doors are in the walls opposite.
This place is spotless.
Without
Right.
splots.
Means someone might have been here.
Well, might still be here.
I don't know what it is. I just have a suspicion that there's something other than undead in it.
Oh no, poor chair.
Would you guys like to make me a perception checks, please?
I would love to do that, Jonathan, my dear.
I'm just gonna make sure I'm not on advantage or anything. Perception.
Right, if I roll one more fucking 10.
Oh
I'd
god.
just like to roll some sort of skill check that's above a 15 or something like that. Would be helpful.
Okay.
No.
No, you guys don't roll me the perception check required.
Shit.
Well then.
That's cool.
Well, I guess we're just gonna die now.
Do I have anything that I can just
Well, saying that, I'm just gonna go to this door here.
I just need to make sure that I can just
Blub.
yeet out.
Are
Well done.
you kidding me? What the fuck are they?
Those appear to be some sort of oozes or pudding.
A bear trapped in an ooze.
A black goopy ooze pours out of the ceiling as you cross the
Those were
room.
spotless.
It was. It is. They
Now
don't.
there's plots.
They don't seem to be. They don't seem to be making any damage to the shelving or the floor.
Well, I guess it's time for a cleanup. Cal, we have to pull our weight here. We don't always have servants to do it for us.
Shut the fuck up!
We'll start this combat, and then we might
Wow.
finish this next week.
Let's do it quick.
That is some atrocious initiative rolls.
Which means we'll probably finish this quick.
I doubt it. I know how much health these things have.
Oh, suck a dick.
I got a 7.
Am I highlighted? Yes, I am. I got a 18.
Squeak got a 5.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Did everybody roll? Yes.
Probably.
First up is Calderax.
Well then.
Calderax makes funny noises at the creatures.
Yes. So this one's technically 15 feet. If I move like one space, I can make sure he's 100% in. And yeah, because bollocks to these guys. I don't much care for them.
Splub.
So I'm going to do that.
Nice. So that takes place on their turn, doesn't it?
I believe so. Hold on, I really should have made it so it fucking come up with the whole fucking spell. Fucky fuck.
Stop.
You call for spirits to protect you. They flit around and you go neutral. When you cast this spell, you can designate any number of fuck. When you cast any number of creatures.
Any number of fuck. Okay.
You can You can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. I choose my friends.
Cool.
Unaffected creature's speed. An affected creature is halved in the area. When the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw or take that.
17. Cool.
Ooh.
Barham. What are your things again? They're like little cherubic angels, aren't they?
I believe... I believe when I last did it, they were like athletic men and women, very scantily clad.
I hate you so much.
I believe that's what they were when we were trying to stop all those little demons from getting into the...
Of course they were.
You have advantage from there, I believe, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Okay, advantage. Rage time. And talent. 15.
15 will hit.
Oh, okay. The 13.
Cool.
Then a 27 on the big one, if possible.
Nice.
One moment.
Well, not the big one, but this one.
I need some maths, so calculator maths me a number. Cool.
I need some mathematics.
Oh, what the fuck?
So that's a 27 on which one? This one?
The one I have advantage on, yep.
Yep, that will hit.
So, numbers.
So that is 12, 14.
Yes. Is he still going into? Yes, he is.
Roll 20. Can you stop being a slut, please?
But it likes being a slut.
No, but the only slut in my life is you, Calderax.
Malzaray.
Yeah, me.
Oh no, wait.
Trying.
There's a hug.
Yeah.
Trap.
I forgot the hug.
You forgot the hug.
The
How
hug
dare
is a
you.
hit. That
Still
is
missing.
6.
Then you can go.
Now it smells Malzaray.
Alright, I just shout, guys! Close your eyes!
Close my eyes.
As a reaction, I close my eyes.
Do you also draw back the curtain?
Yep.
Yeah. Being ridiculous.
Any creature within a 30 feet cube must make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna put it like here.
They are immune to charm.
What?
I can confirm.
I just kind of like try. I do all these like nice little, patterns and all that because it's somatic. So it's like I do all these cool little patterns and I make a nice little thing, and then I just see that they don't react, and I'm just like, "Well, fucking suck a dick then."
Neff.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, go on, Neff. Do your really cool attacks. See if I care.
Just trying to figure out whether I can bursting shot any of them, but I'd either hit Barham or Mal.
You wouldn't hit Caldrax on this one.
No, but I would only get.
You would hit.
You can. Yeah.
I can only hit one of them.
It's a what type damage?
It is
Bursting is piercing.
piercing. yeah.
Piercing and force.
I could reduce the piercing, but not the force.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's fine. What were the blue dots about? Sorry.
They are smaller creatures. They are small creatures now.
How small?
Okay.
Like my height?
About gnome-sized. A little bit smaller than you.
I am going to, in the back corner of this one,
Okay.
do a bursting arrow.
Thingy.
No, apparently I won't.
Actually, maybe. Yes, their AC sucks.
Okay.
Royally sucks.
They are shit.
That's all kinds of stuff.
So that's 13. The arrow just
Okay.
and it just like pulls itself back together again.
Right, and then I am going to this one over here. I'm just going to hit with a normal arrow.
That will also hit.
Hey. Yeah, this one.
Can I? Yes. Don't think I can.
Malzere, a pseudopod, shoots out from the black pudding in front of you and rolls a 22 to hit.
Jesus.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
So that is 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 14 points of acid damage.
14.
14.
And Miles down.
He's not. He's on 2 HP.
And your AC is reduced by 1.
Are you taking the piss?
And also now you're yellow and you speak only common tongue and
Alright,
do the full
remind me.
level.
In fact, I'll keep it 15, but remind me to put it back up. Yeah.
5, 10, 15.
God.
Squeak will run in and fire at the one that is attacking Malzere.
Yeah, please do.
That is a hit. And does 17 points of damage.
Was it advantage?
She was not, but it hits
But
anyway.
It still hits.
Regardless, it is.
Technically, as long as Squeak doesn't roll a 1, she hits. This black pudding
Make a wisdom saving throw.
will make a wisdom saving throw. 10.
No, 17 damage to him.
He will make a pseudopod attack against you. That is a 14 to hit.
No.
And then the other black pudding that is all of these bits will make...
Make a wisdom saving throw.
that's a 10, a 6, and a 9.
No, no, and no. 17 damage each.
Cool.
This one
That cleaned the room a bit.
will make a pseudopod attack against... Nope. Barham. That is a 12.
No.
Nope.
So Calderax.
Yes. I feel like I need to do a healing word. I feel I need to do multiple healing words realistically.
Possibly all your actions actually on.
Just fire off a string of healing words.
Well, I do actually have mass healing word prepared. For once. It's just the fact that it's really shit.
Oh.
It's like a 3rd level spell. I can do it to multiple people, yes.
Hi, Master
It's a
Carboon.
3rd level spell that does 1d4 healing.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
keep
no.
it to one then.
Concentrate on Mal.
So I shall healing word Malzere at 2nd level, even though I can't waste my 3rd.
It's okay. That's
And-
a 10.
They are currently inside a abbey suspended in the trees.
And then,
We're kinda dying.
and if I am able to, can I do healing word on Barham as an action?
Yes.
So I will do that as an action.
Oh, shit.
I have very few spell slots left.
Use a level 1 if you must.
I'll use a level 1. I have a few of them left.
That still puts me at almost all my health back, so that's cool.
That's alright then.
Almost.
Barham.
Right, I'm gonna try.
Saving throw now.
Gonna move here, even if it fucks me up. You, mister, I'm gonna talon your face.
I'm going to smash you in the face.
Because I don't think I can miss. Yeah, definitely not.
That does hit.
So that's 11 points of damage for the little one.
I'm refreshing the thing because the map is frozen for me.
Rip.
Oh, come on!
But the chat is working, just not the fucking map.
Oh my fucking god!
Okay, I'm gonna hug the little one I just hit.
That is a hit.
11. So that's 6. I'm gonna talon the one that just popped in. With a 9.
That will hit.
That's 11 points of damage. Then I'm gonna move here to give Malzero advantage, if possible, here or here.
I
That
thought
will
you'd
do
say
it.
that I'm going to move here to give Malzere a hug.
No, I don't have a. I don't have the action for it.
Advantage then?
No, you're there.
Okay.
Malzere,
advantage.
you are at
I'm at
advantage.
Cool.
That
Oh, shit.
that will hit.
That was a nat 1.
You can take me later.
That's 6, and then I will attack with the sickle. Nice.
You can also thank me later.
Okay, that'll do.
1 moment.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Them some numbers. Don't like them numbers. I
Oh,
don't know what they're for.
how much health each of them get.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
Whenever they split, they
They split the half in half.
Neferin.
Yars.
Counteracts my didn't help.
Yeah, I'm taking offense to this one.
You, I don't like you.
I don't like your face that you kind of don't have.
That is a hit.
Hit. Anything that's above an 8 hits.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's do another one.
See above.
Yep.
Coolio.
Black Pudding's turn. It is these ones up here. So Malzere,
Yeah,
one of them swishes out at you with a 19 to hit.
that definitely hits.
Damn it!
That is 4 points of bludgeoning and 19 points of acid damage.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
And you get another
Oh,
-1
wow.
to the AC.
See?
Down 13.
And then
Is that permanent? Is it like burning off my armor?
Yes, it is partially dissolving the armor.
So in order to fix this, I either need to keep mending or I need new armor.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Fuck. Okay.
The other one, Barham.
Yeah, so not Malzere, thank you.
I rolled a natural 1 to hit you with a pseudopod. So does
Nice.
a 6 hit your armor class?
No!
Squeak will attempt to sneak attack the one that is attacking Calderax. Does 18 points of damage. The one that is attacking Calderax, however, gets an attack.
Wisdom saving throw!
Natural 20 for an 18.
What a slut.
As in natural 23 saving?
He rolled a natural 20. His saving throw is now 18.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, he did an 18.
He did a natural 20 for his saving throw.
Right, so he gets half 17.
So that is a number.
That's a 16 half
8.
to 8.
8. And then what was it to hit me?
That was a 17.
No.
Good, because that was 30 points of acid damage.
Oh my god.
Calderax.
I take offense to you, sir.
Okay.
Have a look and
I am
see.
so offended.
I am. For God's sake, fucking.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Well, first things first.
Under arrest.
Get up, Malzere.
Don't you have that thing that means that when you're healing people at 0, they take the maximum healing?
That's because it will then take the spell slot off. But either way, so he gets.
Oh, that is 9 anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right then. So,
You just rolled the maximum anyway.
and then I take offense to this person. So I am going to inflict ones upon him.
You do.
And I really just take offense to him. So that. Fucking try to hit me, bitch. And then I am going to move forward a little bit, just to encompass these motherfuckers.
Put thyself here.
Myself here.
Yes, please.
I am there.
Barham.
Barham is gonna scream at everyone surprised, "Get the fuck off my friend!"
Aw, you do care.
And he's gonna go there, advantage due to Calderax being there, like very, not late. Yeah, very conveniently there.
That is a hit.
With 14 points of damage.
Brooklyn Wage.
I hate everything.
Don't worry, I got this. So I'm not in range for this one.
Nope.
So I'm gonna hug the one in front of me for a 20
That'll hit.
with 8, 7, 8
Splat.
numbers points of damage. Then I'm gonna put myself here because fuck this shit, and
I'm out.
I'm gonna risk being taken at advantage, but yeah. And Talon, the one that has attacked Malzere,
That is a hit.
for a 10. So he will separate in 2, but smaller and weaker.
So small.
Now save me.
I will
Malzere.
save you.
save you, my best friend. Yeet! Yay!
That is it.
6.
Split.
Cool, and then I'll attack the one next to me.
No, I think you killed the one that has your, your token number.
Cool.
Split.
7. Nice, and then I will healing word myself. Oh god, whoa, I'm running out of spell slots already.
Yeah.
In which case I'll do it at 2nd level.
I have 1 rage left.
I have 2 spell slots left.
Oh, that was a fucking waste.
Neverin.
Well, this one, yeah.
Might be interesting in killing this fucker.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Apparently, yes.
I've gone straight for the nostril, apparently.
You've really taken offense to this one.
Yay, we did it!
How long does Spirit Guardians last, Sean?
10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm keeping this thing up for the full 10 minutes.
You've got some time if you wish to just press on straight away with it. Yeah.
I really don't know if we can.
Yeah, we really can't.
Barum just looks around and is like, you know what, sirs? I haven't been able to collect hair from all the fightings we had the 2 days.
Yeah, Mal throws up. He's not feeling good.
It doesn't stain anything. It just kind of runs out the door.
Nice.
Not
nice.
And at this point, we will draw a close to this session.
Okay, so you're horrible, and I hate you so much, but I actually love you, but also fuck you.
Cool. Thank you for that very mixed emotional feelings. I'm not sure which ones to feel, but all of them apparently. Guys in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We have been playing Rage of the Demons, D&D, The Adventures of the Golden Tooth. If you have just joined us and you haven't been here before, please do hit that follow button before you go. It lets you guys know when we go live. We play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons, so if that's something you're interested in and want to learn more about, stop on by and watch us play another game. I nearly broke into Arabian Nights there. That was weird.
We've got many to choose from.
Stay a while and listen.
Stay a while and listen. We will be back on Friday when I will be not playing D&D. I'll be playing The Sims. And I will be making Sammy and Maddie in The Sims and recreating Snowgrace Manor.
Yay!
You have to be very careful of making my curly hair perfectly curly.
It'll be difficult, because I don't think The Sims has a lot of options in the curly hair department.
I know, which is why I'll be very critical at this.
So we'll see how that goes. On Sunday, we will be back with D&D as the Storm King's Thunder Group continue their adventures through Armala, Lyn Armala, as they attempt to claim their new base of operations for their own. The new base of operations being a Cloud Giant's castle. And for their own means clearing it of the previous occupants. Next Monday, Sean and I will be back with Minecraft Mondays as we continue to
Thing we still do.
as we continue to make the small castle settlement that we have been working on, and we might be joined by other people. Who knows?
Maybe. It's magical mystery every time.
It's always a mystery when we stream on Mondays and we work out who has actually been able to stay awake to play the game with us and doesn't feel like microwaved shit.
We appreciate them anyway.
We love them all the same, but actually we don't like microwave shit. That doesn't sound great.
We like the people, not the microwave.
Yeah.
They feel like.
We'll be back next Wednesday with more of this as the Golden Tooth continues to move through Eventide Abbey and hopefully experience some strange goings on in your neighbourhood.
Hopefully experience some not dying.
You never know. And then we'll also have next week. We'll have space game. Space game.
Space game.
Space 18. Space. Gotta go space. And then the Tomb of Annihilation actually make it inside the Tomb of the Nine Gods itself. It has all been building up towards this. It's the
Are you sure?
So get ready for another several months of us going through the tomb itself.
It's all been building up to this. Can they make their way inside? Can they bypass the traps?
Can they get the door open?
They just get to the door and go, no, actually, no, we're going home.
Yeah, you never know. They could. It's an option. It's kind of a point of no return, really. For now, guys.
Not an option.
Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.